she said.
Or get yelled at by your president because you're using the floor as your cutting board, and then 5 minutes later your knives are dull.
Oh wait, that reminds me. Speaking of dull knives.
No, I did not.
I did that.
My living room's not carpet, it's hardwood floor, and she yells at me all the time for it. So.
Because who does that?
Because someone doesn't want to go and spend more money. She wants to spend money on cosplay.
Hang on. I almost forgot something really
buy you one.
That was almost the word. I almost forgot. Really important. If you're cutting with knives and you don't spend more money than you need to, that is your best friend. Because it will turn a dull blade into a beautifully cuttable machine of death. And when I say, oh, get a knife sharpener, I really do mean that, because you can save so much money instead of like, oh man, this blade is dull, and then you go and buy more knives. Or you can get a knife sharpener, which is again, it's like at Walmart for like $5 or Target, and around that too. Yeah. And it's $5 and you can sharpen your knife, and it will make it so much easier. You will glide through foam so easily. And if you try using a dull knife, because you're like, oh, I'll save money, I'll use a dull knife. It will be hell. You'll get like you won't be able to cut a straight line of your foam. It'll be like jagged and terrible, and then you have to use a Dremel or a sandpaper to sand it down. Don't do that. Why?
Don't be me. Don't be Kay.
Don't be Kay. Because, that makes your life so much harder. And you can just literally get a knife sharpener, sharpen it, or buy new knives, if you got money like that. That's for you. Alright, now we have the plan, create, detail, paint process. What this pretty much means is kind of the symbols of words are. I mean, it's just plan, you create, you detail, you paint. But it goes a little bit deeper than that, because I realize that some people are like, I love foam crafting and I want to craft with foam, but I don't know where to start. And I'm like, okay, I understand that, because that is a little bit detailed. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Unless there's someone on YouTube, because there are people on YouTube, that is going to walk you through a step-by-step process. If there's not, you cannot find it, but there are a lot of them, so you're okay. But if you don't find it, this is the best way for you to do it. I do recommend that you're going to need some creativity. You can't do this without creativity. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. You need creativity for this. This is just to be 100% honest. So, first, here's my own personal pictures, and I have here. Is the plan. The plan process is as simple as this. You take a notebook or a paper, chalk, pencil, pen.
Something
to draw with. Anything that you can jot down, do it. And pretty much that basically is get the character you want. Analyze what character you want to be. If you want to be, I'm a butcher so many names right now. If you want to be Katsuki Bakugo, I am butchering that one. I hope. And you want to make gauntlets, and you realize, man, he has gauntlets. Take a photo of him, study it. Look at every individual piece of that costume. Look and see, oh man, he has green as a color. This gauntlet looks like this. This piece looks like a giant round oval shape. Look online, look on YouTube, anywhere that has something created in an oval shape, and start from there. Break down your cosplay piece by piece by piece. That is the best way of me explaining it, because when you do that, you're able to go, okay, for instance, I'm just going to use this as an example. I have cat try this one, so that's all I got. From the entire costume, which is here, you have the shoulder piece, the bodice, the pants, the leg pieces, the side things, the leg gauntlets, one arm gauntlet, cat ears, and head piece. That's like the basic breakdown. If I go head, shoulders, knees, and toes, which is like wonderful, I know it sounds weird, but if you really sing like yourself, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, you will get everything. It's great. I love that song. It's wonderful. It's a reminder of, what am I missing? Head. What do I have? Ears, hair, crown thing, earrings, shoulders, shoulder pad piece, bob. I don't know. I'm gonna call it shop, like chest piece. But now I mean, like in the shoulder dimension, that's what I mean. And then you have, for instance, pants legs. I don't know what those things are called. I'm gonna call them loopy things. They're fabric. Then you have your knees and toes, which is your knees, which was this, which is a whole leg gauntlet. That's my best word for using it right now. If you go, girl, how does this work? I'll be 100% honest with you. I can't sew. I can sew. I can sew. But I can't sew. I hate sewing. It's not my go-to. I like foam smithing. So anything I can wrap around foam, I will wrap. Because I'm a rapper. I'm not.
It was kind of funny watching her make bear ears.
I wrap everything in foam. Like foam is literally my go-to for everything. That's why I'm telling you this, because I literally go for everything. I wrap it in foam. And the best way of explaining this is, I have a picture. Yeah, I do. Shit. Is that I literally took a piece of foam, which I'll show you guys if I do this. Took a piece of foam and I wrapped it around my leg. I cut out the piece of foam. I laid it on fabric, and then I wrapped the fabric around the foam. And I used a heat gun to wrap, because again, heat guns used to basically fold and mend the foam, because obviously, as you can see, this is a straight board, it's not moving. But if you use a heat gun and bend it, it will bend to your will. If you believe it, you can bend it. I'm lying. But I believe I can bend it. I believe I can bend it. If you really honestly do believe, because literally, I use the same type of foam, and I put in a little circle cup. I used a heat gun, I bended it and pushed it in, and it bent. Bent. Now, of course, we'll show you an example of how to exactly get to these type of levels. We're not just going to be out here. It's just this is a presentation. We can only go so far. Your computer's off. But for instance, like again, there was a simple solution for this. We did wrap ourselves in plastic and stuff, got the shapes, and so on and so forth, and then we bent it and cut it. But again, that'll go into the case demonstration a little bit later, so don't worry, we're not leaving you. It's just that these are the best pictures I got because I can't put up video. But it's the same thing. Make a shape, bend it with heat gun, wrap it. Bodice that is the same thing. You want to start off piece by piece, you're fine. Piece by piece, breaking down each individual piece. Now, I know this says create because that's pretty much the next process to this, which I kind of already went to without even realizing it. Which is the create process. So it goes from detailed planning to figure out what exactly you need. If you cannot draw, hold on. Let me go back to the planning for a second. If you cannot draw, because I know some people cannot draw, use Photoshop. If you cannot Photoshop, I think on Windows they have that little paint option, like the little paintbrushes. You can literally cut off pictures. And literally, if I were you, pull up the picture of your character, put it on the paint, cut off each individual pieces, and separate it. Put it into two groups. What do you want to look like it's fabric, and what do you want to look like it's foam? Well, not really foam, metal or whatever the foam's supposed to look like. Foamable things. Yeah, foamable things. I'll work with it. So fabric and foam. Break those two pieces by literally cutting off your character in bits and pieces and separating the two. I just sketch it out because that's the easiest way for me to go. But you can do different forms. You can, again, if you can't draw, do it that way. If you can't computer, literally take the character picture, print that sucker on a printer, take some scissors, and cut off their head. Put the head in its own corner. Take a blow-up picture. I'm not joking. Take a blow-up picture of the character, blow it up on a piece of paper, and cut off each individual piece and put it in its own section. That way you can figure out, this is what I want for the head, this is what I want for the ears, this is here, this is here. That way you can separate different pieces. Again, this is if you can't draw. If you can draw, or if you can computer,
or have your friend draw it for you.
Yeah. Or
and now it looks like you're trying to murder an anime character.
Yeah. People do commissions, and like especially at the school where like everyone kind of is trying to get like portfolio stuff. You'd be surprised how many people are like, yeah, sure, I don't mind. Mind you, like, make sure you're not like disrupting your day, and mind you, make sure like they're actually gonna do it and they're not someone that's like, yeah, and then never does it. That sucks. Then you'd be waiting for years. I'm sorry. But yes, that is the best way. And again, if you need to, take a notebook, open up the page, take those picture pieces and glue them in the picture thing and make a scrapbook. Like, I mean, just organization is your best way to go when starting off with foaming. Now, I'm sorry if I sound angry. I'm really happy right now. I'm just enthusiastic. Creating and planning creating process moves from planning to creating. Again, we'll show you a whole creating process, so don't feel confused at this point. This is what I'm going to give you as pictures. I'm trying to reword what I was saying from before, make sure I'm not repeating myself. Mainly, take foams. You take your foam pieces and you're going to create a piece you want. For instance, if you want, I'm going to open up my book because I need reference. Because it sucks looking up all the time. Okay. For instance, if you want a bodice, you're gonna wrap your that's a perfect example. You wrap yourself, especially if it's on your body. If it's not on your body, then we'll talk about that in a second. But if it's on your body specifically, you can wrap yourself. Turn it around for a second.
Huh?
Turn it around.
I don't know.
You wrap yourself in plastic wrap to get the shape that you need. Then you wrap yourself in tape. Make sure you have someone with you. Do not do this by yourself. Or if you know, some people are flexible. You know, I mean, some people are like can contort.
Yeah.
If you can contort, you should.
You really shouldn't, especially when
you're
you get
still
to the
distorting.
chest piece, and then all of a sudden you find yourself getting claustrophobic, which I did the first time, and then you don't find your scissors, and you're taking a knife and you're cutting it down your body, which you don't do. Don't do.
But yeah.
Don't be a K.
Yeah, don't be a K. You can wrap yourself in foam, then tape, and that way you can create the form. But Kelly actually pointed out something really important. Even if you can distort, still do it with someone, because you will accidentally distort or bend, and then it will be the proper shape that you need with your body pieces. I did this for the bodice. You can do this for mainly any and everything you can do this for. As long as you have something to actually wrap and not thin air, you can pretty much wrap and tape anything. Then from there, it gets a little, again, this is where I need you to pull out that wonderful imagination. Because you're going to have to take, let's say, okay, come here. Let me use you as an example. Bring that too. So,
I think that's the arm piece.
yeah, we'll just use it like that. So, we wrapped her, then we wrapped tape around her, right? Now, imagine pink lines aren't there. It's just a piece of tape. You're going to have to take your imagination, or a friend's imagination. Take a friend that can draw, and you're gonna have to go ahead and look, okay, what do I want to be seen? I want this material, I know it looks crazy from here, apologize, wait, good, yes. I want there to be an extra layer right here. I want there to be a gem in the middle. I want it to stop right here. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna draw the layout plan of what I want. I'm sorry if you online people cannot see. The layout plan for the actual piece of material, from pretty much sketching your idea onto your arm. Again, if you cannot draw, I apologize. Ask a friend to draw. If they cannot draw, I literally would recommend you to, I don't know if you can find it, but you print it out and then put it over your arm, or wrap it over your arm, like a blown out version, and then trace it. That way, if you can't draw, then you can possibly trace, and if not, I can't help you, I'm so sorry. But mainly that's what you're gonna do. Then you have a friend cut you out, because you don't want to distort it, and this is a silent shape. It looks weird. You're probably like, what is this? This is dumb. But I swear, this is literally how it works. It's weird, but it works. You literally take this material, you put it down on your phone, or, I'm sorry, you can do two things. You can put it on your phone, sorry, I need a picture. You can put it down on the phone and cut it out. Or what I like to do, because I am paranoid as hell, is I actually put on a piece of paper, look at the paper, lay it out, wrap it around myself with the paper, then make sure it's the proper size, or trim if it's not from there, and then I turn it into a piece of foam. Then from foam, cut it out, take a heat gun, heat it, wrap it, and then you got it. You literally, it's just a round curved piece of foam. And again, we'll show you the examples with a full body demonstration. So, does anyone have any questions? Because I know that's a lot of information before I go on. No.
Any questions online?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about peppercorn at all?
Yeah, we can peppercorn.
I did do just two, I printed out two simple JPEG ones for people
So,
wanting to take.
like we were talking like 5 seconds ago about printings. So there's a wonderful, is it what it's called?
Yeah.
There's a wonderful online website where you can actually, most cosplays, at least for our day and age, most cosplayers are so wonderful and generous enough to already make a printed out version of the cosplay. How to work it, how to bend it, how to build it, how to create it, how to craft it. They want to share their knowledge with you so that everyone can enjoy such a magnificent crafting around get together, happiness, wonderful. There's a website called Pepakura where you can literally take pieces of paper, print it out.
It's a program, actually.
Yeah, sorry, it's a program where they pretty much break down whatever item you have. For instance, like
An exact knife, like $1 or $2.
I'll be honest, I don't know what this is from.
That's a Star Wars.
Yeah, but I know it's Star Wars. What is it?
Kylo Ren's
It's Kylo Ren's
There we
helmet.
go. Yeah, let's go with it. Kylo Ren's head, Kylo Ren's mask, and it literally breaks it down from piece by piece, the pieces you need, what you need it for, how to cut it out, where to go, which pieces bend where. They have instructions at the bottom. They're pretty awesome, and you can even do this in paper form.
It's
practice.
It's a good way to, like, when you sew, they always say to do what they call a muslin, which is kind of a mock-up. And this is kind of a good way, if you do it in paper, get your cuts right first, know that it fits how it fits together. And paper's cheap, of course.
Yeah.
So.
And mock-ups are great. Mock-ups, thank you for reminding me that. Mock-ups are an amazing thing, which is kind of like I was saying from before. I cut out a piece of paper first. I guess that would be called my mock-up. I use that, practice on it, see if this is the shape I want, this is what I want it to look like before I put it on my phone, because phone is expensive. And paper, like Case A says, is very cheap. You can buy a whole pack of paper.
I did two of them. There's the color and helmet, but then I know somebody mentioned online about props. Yeah, somebody has done a Mario cube, and you could do props out of this stuff too.
I think I have the one here.
Yeah, so I made. There's like 5 copies of each, so if anybody wants to take this.
Yeah.
Peppercore's program is Windows only, but there is some conversions. There's a software out there that you can convert them to PDF to print them out.
Oh.
So.
Alright. Now the next important thing. There we go. Is detailing, which is where the magnificent Dremel. I don't think I brought this one before, but we have burners too. That comes up, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't bring up burners.
No, like soldering irons.
Soldering irons.
Yeah, wood burners.
This is another. Well, that's the thing is, the befores were kind of must-haves. This is not really a must-have. This is more of a want. You don't have to have it, but I personally love it. So I'll share it with you. But it isn't a must-have. You don't have to buy it. You can live without it. You can still craft and make the exact same things without it. It just makes it easier. This is a wood burner. Do not get this confused with a soldering iron. Soldering irons are for electronics and burn differently and much hotter than a wood burner. Wood burners make sure that they don't accidentally burn wood. Soldering irons.
There are nice ones that you can control the temperature.
Yeah, if you can control the temperature, that's fine. What temperature? I have no idea. I think it's like 60 hertz. I don't know. But please be careful, because if you buy a soldering iron and try to solder or burn or make detailing in the foam, you will melt through it and possibly cause a fire or harmful chemicals, because it will go through so easily, because it's not really made for, soldering irons aren't made for crafting like that. Like, I mean, it's crafting, it's like electronic crafting. It's not like foam or wood burning, which is like why this is okay to use, because it has a specific temperature. Okay.
Yes.
This gets so hot. Do not burn yourself. You will burn skin off. Like, this is worse than any flat iron. This is worse than any curling iron. This is worse than the regular iron that I see people, which still makes me paranoid to this day. Iron. This thing is painfully hot. This, which I don't know if all of them have it. It's not like it's supposed to protect you. I don't know what it does. It gets just as hot as the top part. I don't know why that's there. Mine has it. If you cannot get this part, I highly recommend you not do it, because this is cumbersome and annoying. But it's great if I'm trying to like make marks in the thing. It's wonderful. But if I'm not, it's annoying. Don't get this part. If you can get the soldering iron without this part, I highly recommend it. Stop turning off. What the hell?
And Carol, there's a question from one of the online.
Yeah, sure.
Can color of foam be altered if I cannot find the exact color I need? That is her question. That's literally her question.
Oh, we're gonna get to painting in a second. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But I appreciate your question. Thank you very much, online person, whoever your name is. You need to tell them me their names, kid.
I don't even know how to say it. It's like Blink, Jack. Blink, Jack.
Blink. I appreciate your question. Yeah. Gosh dang, why does it keep turning off? Anyway, sorry. Wood burners, I'm confused for a second. Wood burners are great for detailing, as well as the Dremel. This is a wonderful, wonderful item that if you need to mark anything, especially for instance, it's really hard if you're trying to make a gun, if you're trying to make a hammer, iron, especially props specifically, even like armor pieces. It's really hard to create those details with just cutting. Is it impossible? No. Is it hella hard? Yes. Do I recommend it? No. Do the easy route and buy a Dremel. Because when you pretty much use a Dremel. You can not only soften pieces or sides, but you can make bevels. You can turn things inside out. You can add on extra material pieces. I've used a soldering iron and a Dremel to make things look like wood. Like I made scythes, and the scythe wood piece part that hangs off of it is literally looks like it's made out of wood. So that's kind of what I do. It's mainly what I go towards. And then there's one amazing thing that this is actually Kobe's over here. This is actually Kobe taught me this. So proud. There's actually something called a sanding stick. It is so simple, so easy. They literally take a mixing stick that you can buy at like any Home Depot, like a pack for like 98 cents. They take sandpaper, they glue it to the stick with hot glue gun, and they cut the edges, of course, and then they sand with the stick. It sounds simple, it makes so much of a difference, because when you take sandpaper and you're consistently rubbing it on the item, your hand's gonna get tired, it's gonna be painful, it's gonna be more cumbersome than you having a sanding stick where you can really just use, like, it really looks like a stick like this. Wait. They have one. I'm super happy right now. This is literally the sanding stick. And what they do, it's a stick with sandpaper to do it. But, smart thing that they do, write down what kind of sandpaper you have on it. So you're not having to sand things to check what it does. You can literally just know this is 320. If you don't know how sandpapers work, the higher the number, the tinier the gradiency, the larger the number, the lower the number, the bigger the gradients is. If you're wondering what gradients is, it's like how rough it is. Like, so it'll go from like being extremely rough, which is like 80, compared to 320, which is like super like fingernail sandpaper thin. Thank you, whoever left this in here. I appreciate you, art person. Yes. But yeah, you can solder irons to burn, add pieces, Dremel, sand, add, burn, stick, make holes, circles, so on and so forth, going from there.
Yeah, it's a great way to do like aging or battle damage, things like that. Yeah.
Crafting. I mean, literally anything you can't possibly cut out, you can use a soldering iron to cut or burn into it. Bye. But pretty much that's what you can do. Now, one thing I realized I missed, and I feel kind of bad, because it's like one of the most essentials, and it just dawned on me. It's like something so simple, it's like easy to forget. You're gonna need a marker pencil. I don't mean to. I think I should probably said that from the beginning, but markers, pencils, color pencils. Sometimes you can even use white color pencils. Okay, I have one right now. You literally use a marker to mark into things. I'm sorry, it's like something so easy that I always forget.
It also helps when you're doing it on the tape.
Oh yeah, and if you're doing it on tape, you can use a marker as well. And then,
or just in general.
Yes, wait. Yeah, yes, there it is. Okay, now we get to the fun part, which is phone play. Again, your imagination and maybe some crafting skills, but this stuff is so easy. It is Play-Doh. It is literally the child's Play-Doh, like if you've ever used Play-Doh. If you didn't, I'm sorry.
Except you can't eat it. Except you can't eat it.
Yeah, you can't eat Play-Doh.
Well, you can't eat Play-Doh either.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. But for some reason, kids do it.
That's why
Did you
it's
eat
not.
Play-Doh?
No.
Yeah,
Okay, I'd be very worried.
I never understood the attraction with that, wanting to eat Play-Doh.
Or Tide Pods.
Yeah. Glue. That was a weird one. That was a really weird one. Why did people eat glue? Honestly,
We could.
it's non-toxic.
But we
Yeah, no, I
don't.
know that. It
Well,
has to
they
be
made
non-toxic.
We shouldn't.
Yeah, sodium.
Yeah, like glue and chalk. That was weird. Anyway, it made me go on tangents. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's a phone play. It's literally as simple as it sounds. It's playing phone version. But one cool thing that I don't know a lot of people know is that you can actually put phone play into molds, mold it out, and so on and so forth. So for instance, you have molds, maybe you can't get resin for that one piece that you need to get into that mold piece. You're gonna take foam clay, cut off a piece, stick it, or rip off a piece, stick it into the mold, squish it down. Make sure though, when you're using foam clay, that you knead it first. Don't just rip it out and then throw it, or make sure you knead it. Because when you're kneading the foam clay, when you do that, it gets rid of all of the air bubbles and so on and so forth. That way it's smooth and clean when you're done. Because if you just literally sit there and try to eat it off and then put it on something, it'll it may become a little bit bubbly, or if you like let it on when it's dry, if you press on it, it'll actually break or crack because there's bubbles inside. Yes, you have a question.
Okay, so I took an entire art class on this. We made sculptures out of clay. I have clay experience, I promise. So what you're supposed to do is, I don't know if everyone wants to like gather around so I can show, but like, you use your hand, this part, right here, the palm. So you take it, and you make like a wedge out of it, like a triangle wedge, and then you just push it down, and then you turn it twice, and then you push it down again. That's how you wedge clay. It's called wedging, it's wedging. That's how you wedge clay.
I mean, that is awesome.
That's how you get rid of bubbles, is wedging.
Yes.
You always wedge clay before you use it.
Yes. This is not as like that clay that specifically you're talking about is much heavier and condensed, and that like they actually have to use like heat to be able to make it moldable and things like that. This is not as heavy, but that is a wonderful technique that you can use. Like you said, push it down, twist it up, push it down again, or you can just like it's not as hardcore, but I love that. But yeah, just wedge it. Wonderful word. Wedge the clay. Make sure you knead it at least a little bit before you use it because you will leave air bubbles in it, and you do not want air bubbles ever.
Do you have to, like, I was thinking you could use like candy trays, some of those.
Yeah, candy trays.
Do you have to line it or anything? Do you have to put anything in there? Will it come out without sticking?
It comes out without sticking. It dries so easily. The only thing is though that people do not know though is that foam clay, as amazing as it is also kind of in a way like Worbla, but it's not Worbla. But it will cling to foam like Worbla clings to Worbla. It's the weirdest thing ever. I love it so dearly. It also clings to Worbla very well as well. But foam, it clings to the best. Foam clay, if you put it against foam, it will hold against foam. You don't have to put any sort of glue or anything like that. You can really just stick it to the clay. I mean,
it's wet or
when it's wet. When it's dry, yeah. When it's dry, it's not useful. But when it's wet and you're still mending it, you can actually stick to foam. Once it dries, it'll be attached to that foam. If you mend it, build it, and then it's not attached to foam, then you have to glue it onto the foam for it to actually.
See if I can twist it.
It's too late. We're already halfway through.
Okay, fine.
Too stubborn now. Oh, it's time. Did it die?
Remember, it's a letter.
Anyway, but yeah, you can sculpt, mend, build off of foam clay. One of the things I do like to do off of foam clay though is, this is just more of a personal me thing, that you don't have to do this, is that I create a base first out of whatever. So like I'll use either Worbla or foam to create that base or bottom piece for it to sit on top of, and then I build the clay off of there. You don't have to, but like for instance, when I was making like my headpiece, like I made the base out of Worbla and then I just put the clay on top and then smoothed it out. Same thing goes for like any small details, even like here on this mask, what they did is they created the base of the mask and then they added all the details with the I mean, they did the whole thing out from clay. But you can add on details and bases off of that. You don't have to, but that's my personal taste on it. Just because it makes, I don't know, it just makes it an easier process for me. It's just more creative reasons.
Is there a particular kind of glue you should use on it?
Same contact cement, hot glue guns, same type of glue. I mean, it's literally just foam, clay. So it's like everything you can do with foam. Oh, and you can Dremel on it too. Like once it's dry, don't Dremel on it while it's wet. But give it 24 hours or put it in the freezer because it also dries like I think a little bit faster if you put it in the freezer. But I think I still recommend a full 24 hours because I hate for you to put like a bunch of work into it and then you touch it and it breaks or bends.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to see making little gems out, you know, because I've seen those candy gem molds.
I smashed them in here and they're still mid drying. For instance, I made like, again, these are like terrible examples because I'm just going to throw them together last night. But I made like little horns out of foam clay. It's literally just taking it and sculpting it like foam. You guys can pass around. It's still wet because it's not done drying. Don't squish it or mend it because it's not done drying. But you can pass it around and feel it. It feels wet because it is wet because it's foam clay. Don't push it and squish it and mend it though. Yeah, that was me.
I wasn't like gonna switch it.
Yeah, but yeah, you can Dremel it and so on and so forth. Now I know on here it says Amazon, FOMO, but you can buy it at many places. Like you said,
Joanne's. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the same kind, but it was definitely foam clay.
Joanne sells foam clay. Amazon sells foam clay. They actually have specific cosplay websites. Like there's this one, which is TNT Cosplay Supplies. They sell foam clay as well. They are an American company. you can buy their foam clay. And I think it takes like 3 business days to come in. The reason why I put FOMO on there is because this is the easiest it can go. Like if you're afraid of like buying from like websites that you don't know of, you can always use Amazon, which is where FOMO comes off of. And it's pretty much the same exact price. The only difference is because if you're like, oh no, if you go on that website, it's like $15, and you go on Amazon, it's $19 or $20. The difference is they don't show you the per shipping. Amazon already has shipping, which is like if you have Prime, it already comes with it. Even if you don't, it still doesn't charge you shipping. It's the same price when you add in shipping from the other companies. That's just one of the reasons why I'm like, FOMO is a really good brand. I really trust it. It's really good. It dries well. Super important that I just remembered though. I have tape on this container. I don't know what it is about foam clay nowadays, or what's the packaging about. But for some reason, the packaging is not strong. Once you open it, it's like open, and it will never like, it doesn't like seal like what is that word called? Like Tupperware.
Airtight.
No, it doesn't seal airtight like Tupperware. So you have to be careful because foam clay is an air dry material. If you let it dry, it will dry completely. And like people complain like, oh, like online, they're like it dried out, and I'm like, well, it's because you opened it and you just left it out. You have to make sure it's done that airtight or seal tight. This is fine to use. Just make sure you take the top once you're done. Once you open it, because once you do open it, it is open forever. It does have a plastic bag in it, but I still don't trust it, so I just seal like extra seal so that lasts long. This is 300 grams. It comes in 150 grams, or now, which is even better, and I love it because I just bought it and it just came in. FOMO makes 900 grams of foam clay. How much is 900 grams? If you take the size of like a paint bucket, like a big paint bucket, like this big, that is how big the foam clay is. And I'm super excited because it's 900 grams of clay. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with that. Actually, I do, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of clay. I think no, those are the regular size ones. But yeah, they have 151 and 300 grams. 151 is the cheapest one. It's like the least amount. I think it's like skinnier, where it's like this. This is 300 grams.
I think that's around the size they were selling at Joann's.
Yeah. I don't know about allergic reactions to the clay. I highly recommend if you do have sensitive skin, just to get extra safe, like touch a little bit of it. Don't like just stick your hand in it. I have not heard any reactions or anything from foam clay, but it is still a new item, so who knows. So just be careful. Like there's nothing really wrong with it, just don't eat it. But just to be on the safe side, if you do have sensitive skin, or if you have like skin that easily reacts to things, just in case, either test out a piece or use gloves. The other thing is like, if you can touch like regular EVA foam, it's the same thing. So I don't think there's any problems with it, but just on the safe side, because you know, safety is first. People don't take safety first when it comes to cosplay. And then we always heat seal. I know it sounds cumbersome. I know it sounds annoying. I think the only time you don't have to heat seal, and I still recommend it, but you don't have to, is if you have like high density foam. But what heat sealing mainly does is that before you do your like paint job, when you heat seal it, it pretty much closes the pores in the foam, kind of blending it together. That way you don't have those little holes in your foam and holes in like anything like that. Like you don't want, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like there's little tiny holes, and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's so noticeable. I always recommend heat sealing. Just do it. Like it's, I mean, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it.
Is that the case even for like the craft foam? That's so thin.
Craft foam, it's kind of like one of the things is like if it's just like a whole piece of craft foam, I recommend like, depending on what you're using craft foam for, because most people when they use craft foam, they kind of like some people take craft foam and then wrap like wool around craft foam, so you still like heat seal it. It just depends on how you're using craft foam. If it's just something like on top of something, no, that's not like you don't have to. But if it's like a big build and your craft foam's a part of it, heat seal it. I heat seal it anyway. Just make sure you're not on the craft foam like 24/7. Craft foam can take heat. It's just very easily broken down by heat, so just be extra careful. My God, it's so dry. Next is painting. No, it's not painting. No, don't do that. Don't just jump for foam paint. You always prime first. I've seen so many people put so much beautiful effort into making their foam